Okay, welcome back to the Guitar RX channel for part 3 of restoring and rebuilding a destroyed Telecaster. This Telecaster had holes drilled all over it and it was a complete wreck. As you've seen in the last 2 videos, we took it from a destroyed guitar to patching it, to fixing it, to mocking up the build, and then we left you off when we were getting it ready for prime and paint. So, this is how it turned out. Beautiful Fiesta red. Absolutely gorgeous. And we're going to put this baby together and get this thing ready to become a perfectly great Telecaster with a 4-way mod switch and a P90 pickup in the neck. Anyways, we left you guys off when we started the priming and the prepping of the body. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and revisit the steps that got this guitar to the beautiful guitar it is right now. Anyways, last time when I left you off, the body was in a white primer. And I really didn't like the white primer. I didn't feel it was going to be a good enough base for shooting nitrocellulose over. So I decided to strip it all back down, as you can see, which I did. And now we're going to take the proper steps to get a really great finish. And first thing is I'm applying a sanding sealer, which is this by Varathane, a Varathane sanding sealer. I'm applying it with a felt pad. I have a coat on this side already and the other side, but I'm going to flip it over to recoat the last coat on the other side and show you what's going on. Okay, so I flipped it over and this coat's already dry. I'm going to put one more heavy coat on and then we're going to let this sit and then we're going to sand it down again. Already it's really starting to flatten out and the grain is feeling nice. And all the repair area where the repair was done, any like caverns or anything that was left behind, including these things in the back, is completely filled up by this. And on this last coat, it'll get this really nice and sealed. So basically what you do is make sure you stir it up real nice. It goes on a little bit milky and then dries real clear, and you just want to hit it. You put it on, try not to make a lot of bubbles, don't smash it in. Just give it a nice coat, a nice wet coat, just like that. And we'll touch that up in there real quick like this, because we don't want to splash these cavities with a ton of stuff leaking. We'll do the middle part, just like so. Alright, and yeah, like I say, just put it on nice and as even as you can, and basically you're going to sand most of this off later anyway, at least off the top. It'll raise your grain up high, and then you'll be like, oh no, the grain's all high again. It's supposed to be. So it raises your grain, and basically you sand it with 220 back when you're done with this, and then recoat it if you want, or if it's good, you start your other process. Our next process on this, after we sand this back, because we are going to sand this smooth again with 220, is we're going to use a white pigmented shellac, and we're going to do that out of an aerosol can from a product from Bins. Most of you would know it as Zinsser's, like a house priming product. But this is going to be a shellac-based white shellac, and basically that'll give us our prime coat for the red. And we're going to do 2 coats of the shellac, and then we're going to come back, sand that down again to 220, and then we're going to sand it back to like 330, and then we're going to start with our color coats. And we should be able to make good with 2 coats, being we're doing all this sealing. We should be able to make good with 2 coats of the shellac. But we want to put the shellac on a little bit heavy, then sand it back so we don't get any sand through when we go to smooth it out. So probably 2 or 3 coats, then we sand, then we go to color. Okay, we're going to put a primer coat on this, start priming it up. What we're using here, we're using Bins shellac based primer, because we're going to use nitrocellulose lacquer over here to paint the guitar. And Bins and any kind of shellac works well with nitrocellulose lacquer. You don't get fish eyeing and bubbling and all that other kind of stuff. So first things first, we're going to start painting this out. So let me get started, and then once I finish one coat or finish the front, we're going to cut it, and then we're going to come back for a second coat and basically do that. What you want to do is keep this about 12 inches or so away from the work, just like so. Just kind of put on a dust coat first, so we'll come back, we'll get it. Okay, this is also leaving a nice opaque, and it's covering up the patchwork and everything else. It's going to work out just fine. Anyways, I'm going to reshoot this whole thing, put coat number 1 on here. I'll see you back for coat number 2. Okay, we just finished coat number 2 with the primer. The first coat I put on with the bin primer concerned me a little bit because I was getting some eggshelling, where basically you get these bumps on the surface that looked a bit like eggshells. So I sanded it back and sanded it real smooth. Then I shot the second coat over it. This coat laid down real nice. There's a little bit of eggshelling, but this time with a little wet sanding, it should completely come out. It's nothing like it was, and really it's looking nice. If you're looking back to where the repair was, where we put the block in there, there is no evidence whatsoever of the repair. There are no lines, no sunken parts, or of the two big dings from the holes the guy who previously owned it drilled in the back. Right now, this is a pristine Telecaster body, and what I'm going to do is when this dries, I'm going to flip it over, put it on 2 mounts in the pickup holes, and I'm going to shoot the back with the second coat, which I didn't do yet. Then after that, I'm going to coat it one more time. Alright, as you can see, we got this body all primed and it came out beautiful. Right now, what we're going to do this morning, we're going to wet sand with 400 grit paper. We're going to take all the overspray down from spraying this until it's nice and smooth, and then we're going to do it all over here. We're going to get this thing smooth, then we're going to clean it off real good, and we're going to start putting on our color coats. So right now, what we're going to do basically is, I got the 400 grit soaking in warm water with a little bit of, just 1 shot of Dawn detergent to keep the paper from, clogging up, and also to get a smoother glide so we don't barely have to put any pressure down here. And what you want to do is you just want to kind of go around till you knock down all the overspray. And also it'll help take any trash out of the paint that might have gotten here when we painted it yesterday. But basically you just want to go nice and easy and just keep your paper wet and keep it moving. You don't want to, and you want to watch your edges so you don't burn through when you're sanding. So basically you can pretty much hear when you hit the rough stuff, and you know kind of when you get down, when it starts clearing up, and you don't hear that grinding sound. Anyways, let's clean it up, and I'm going to continue wet sanding this. What you want to do is just go in a nice round motion, barely putting any pressure down, so you get some stuff off on the paper, which you just keep rinsing off. And basically, you're going to do that, and then we're going to keep patting the body dry as we move along. Okay, we got the body wet sanded, and it's ready to go to color. It came out really nice, very smooth, very nice. We scuffed it up. We did about 400 wet sandpaper. Now we're going to start applying color coats. I'm using this Gracey's Vintage Finishes. This is Fiesta Red. I'm going to put the link down below so you could find this, and they have a website online. You can also find them on Facebook and whatnot. So I'll put the link down. Okay, we're going to start doing some passes, and first we're going to just kind of mist it. Okay, we're going to let that tack up a second, and then we're going to go back and do it. First I'm doing the top, then I got some Jax. I'm going to raise it up, do the back and sides. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, we got the color coats down. We got about 4 or 5 coats of Fiesta Red laid down on this, and as you can see, it came out beautiful. Basically, all I got to do now, when it cures, I'm just going to wet sand it, get any orange peel that's left behind gone. Then we're going to take this to Kurt Wilson Custom Guitars to his paint booth, and we're going to shoot some clear coat on it, let that cure, then we're going to wet sand, buff this up, and it's going to be a beautiful Fiesta Red guitar. We'll do a walk around, and we'll show you how this is, different angles, but man, I couldn't be more happier. This came out beautiful, and just think, this thing was totally trashed, and now it's going to be a really cool Fiesta Red Telecaster. Okay, so that's going to wrap up our video for today. Here's one more shot at this beauty. The next video, part 4, we're going to put this guitar together. We're going to get it all wired up, all set up, and demoed. Anyways, till then, thank you all so much for tuning into the channel and checking out this series. If you would kindly smash the subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner of the screen and tell all your friends. Share these videos with anyone you can. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate all the help I can get. If you have any comments, good or bad, please leave them down on the bottom. If you have any tips, any painting tips, I'd like to hear from them. So if you want to leave some comments, that'd be outstanding. Anyways, thank you all very much for tuning into the channel. Take care till next time. God bless.